On this episode of Just Informed Talk, Q wants us to look at the complete hypocrisy when it comes to border security and funding a wall for this country. Plus, we're going to look back at a post from yesterday, which, as you guys know, there were two articles, and a lot of people in the comments and on the Anon boards have been arguing that the article mentioned was fake, and I can tell you it's not because I found it and I'm going to share it with you tonight. But first, hi, I'm Craig, and welcome to Just Informed Talk. I always like to say thank you to all my subscribers. If you guys haven't hit that button, please come here to the landing page, click the big red subscribe button, make sure you hit the bell for notifications so you're notified when these videos get posted. So, today, this is where we're going to pick up. We left off back here at QPost 2640, and we're going to pick up here at QPost 2641. Now, of course, where we're going to begin this whole video is right here, QPost 2639. Now, I'm just going to basically go through this really quick. This was Q's post. It was a clip from two articles from the Washington Post, both written by the same article, both written by obviously the same news outlet. The first one is from a few days ago where this columnist, let's call him, that's what his title seems to be, says Trump's surprise Syria pullout is a giant Christmas gift to our enemies. Now, Max Boot wrote this on December 19th. Then Q wants us to look at how previously a headline that came out back in April from Max read, Trump can't do anything right. We don't need troops in Syria. So obviously they want it both ways, but they can't. And that's what drives them crazy. But they're not trying to give you anything other than an adversarial view against the president, no matter what decision he makes. One of the common things that people say about all this is like, President Trump could cure cancer and people would get angry at him for, causing overpopulation. So that's the kind of stuff we're dealing with, that kind of crazy. But Q says, why do people trust the fake news media? Anons can play this game all day long. Compare and contrast. Fake, 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 Q. So suffice it to say, I was a little bit surprised when I went down the comments and so many people were like, this article doesn't exist. This article was never written. They were talking, I think, about this one here, the one from April 19th. But not hard to figure this out. If you guys do your own research, you'll come up with the exact same answers that I did, and that this article has been written or was written, and the actual title was changed. Here it is. So this is the article. This was written by Max Boot on April 19th. And it's in the global opinion section, just like Q said it, or pointed out to in the graphic there. And it literally says, they've changed the title, it would seem. Now it reads, Trump thinks we can replace U.S. forces in Syria with Arab troops. He's wrong. Okay? I'm merely gonna posit the question to you guys right here and say, look, is it possible that they changed the article? Can they go and do that? I mean, I went and checked it out. I tried to do the internet time machine. There was no record of this article existing, so it's probably been cataloged under a different actual URL title, which means they must have changed the actual title itself. So, my opinion is it would seem that this article was changed at some point down the line, but that's just my opinion, having looked at the situation and then comparing it, of course, to the other article. This is the one that came out a few days ago where talks about how it's a giant gift to our enemies for President Trump to pull out. So to me, it's all a game of mirrors and smoke and mirrors with these people, and they always try to cover up their oopsies really quickly, and they'll do it really efficiently, and usually they'll do their best to not leave a trace, but a lot of times they're wrong. So I'm challenging you guys out there to do your own research and let me know down in the comments if you believe this headline was changed, or if this was the original headline, and I'll be glad to hear you guys out down there in the comments. Now, that being said, that was just something I wanted to clear up and kind of address to everybody. So, let's get into the latest new Q posts. Of course, we have all these great new Q posts. So first is this Q post 2641, and it is talking about, well, a video that we're going to watch right now.
Real reform means stronger border security, and we can build on the progress my administration's already made, putting more boots on the southern border than at any time in our history, and reducing illegal crossings to their lowest levels in 40 years. Real reform means establishing a responsible pathway to earn citizenship, a path that includes passing a background check, paying taxes and a meaningful penalty, learning English, and going to the back of the line behind the folks trying to come here legally.
All Americans, not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country, are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers. That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more, by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before, by cracking down on illegal hiring, by barring welfare benefits to illegal aliens. In the budget I will present to you, we will try to do more to speed the deportation of illegal aliens who are arrested for crimes. It is wrong and ultimately self-defeating for a nation of immigrants to permit the kind of abuse of our immigration laws we have seen in recent years, and we must do more to stop it.
Just saying no to everything may be good short-term politics, but it's not leadership. We were sent here to serve our citizens, not our ambition.
So what you just saw was shared by this guy, Don, who goes by @Phil4GOP on Twitter. Shout out to him for getting Q to mention his post here. And it says, hey, @Senator Schumer, please address these views not only held by you publicly, but by all past presidents, including Obama. We were sent here to serve our citizens, not our ambitions. Build the wall. And I just want to give the credit to the tweeter. He did correct citizens down here. You can't edit a tweet. So I know a lot of people are going to see that and go, oh, what is it saying? But yeah, great tweet, great video. And it does point us directly back to the hypocrisy that has been existing with these people. They'll say whatever they have to get elected, and then when they get into their positions of power, they're feckless and they don't follow through on their decisions. And then the best hypocrisy is when they go vote and pass something like back in 2006 with this actual fence act. And now in 2018, all of a sudden, any kind of fence or barrier, or, heaven forbid we even put up a hedge line, I don't think they would really like that too much. And so Q says, how can the quote unquote left refute this? What happens when you can no longer trust those elected to represent you? Fake, fake, fake. Truth and facts matter. Anons can play this game all day long. Q. Okay, so there, you guys have it. I mean, it's pretty plain, right? You know how President Trump has, his saying he uses where he says promises made, promises kept, and we see that every day continuously throughout his administration. Even though some things don't happen as quickly as others, he's keeping the promises that he's made to the American people, and that's something I truly respect about our president, among other things. But I think that the opposite side on the left, their slogan should be like promises, schmomises, sorry, get over it. That's literally the way it feels like. And, there are individuals who will put their faith in somebody if they tell them the right things. I mean, you have to understand how this all works. I mean, politics is, it's kabuki. It's a theater. It's a show that's presented for your entertainment to make you believe that you are involved, when in reality, a lot of these politicians don't give two what's about you and your opinion and your family and what's going on in your life, although they'll say publicly they do. Now, I'm not saying that's for all politics, and I'm not trying to paint with a broad brush here, but I am saying that when you look at these videos and you look at the statements made by these individuals and now the statements that are coming out from them now, it's complete hypocrisy. It's completely, if you want to use a term, flip-flopping. But whatever you want to call it, it is happening, and we have another example right here. So this is going to be Q Post 2642, and we have the YouTube video right here that we're going to watch, and I want you guys to pay attention, and we're going to talk about what Q says in a minute, but it's a really great video, and I'm going to show you guys it right now.
In fact, that's the real amnesty. Pretending we can deport 11 million people or build a wall without spending tens of billions of dollars of taxpayer money is abetting what is really just factually incorrect. It's not going to work. The bill before us will certainly do some good. It will authorize some badly needed funding for better fences and better security along our borders, and that should help stem some of the tide of illegal immigration in this country.
Senator McConnell wanted me to negotiate the wall with President Trump. I said to him two things. First, it's not a negotiation, no wall. And second, I said only you can persuade him that he shouldn't do the wall because it'll cause a government shutdown. Illegal immigration is wrong. And a primary goal of comprehensive immigration reform must be to dramatically curtail future illegal immigration. Second, operational control of our borders through significant additional increases in infrastructure, technology, and border personnel must be achieved within a year of enactment.
And of course, all Q has to say after you guys saw that video there is fake, fake, fake. The more you know, research for yourself, Q. And that's what this is all about, right? It's about us all waking up to what's going on, sharing this information with each other, sharing this information with our family and friends and coworkers, and talking about these issues that they don't want us talking about. See, the problem is not in, whatever they want to call it. They want to masquerade it behind something like hate speech or whatever, but the reality is just having a conversation, an intellectual conversation with somebody else and pointing out the irregularities and flaws that have been consistent on the other side of the aisle, on both sides of the aisle, really. I'm not trying to be partisan here. I'm saying it comes from both sides of the aisle, and we're getting better, okay? We're making progress in the right direction. A lot of the people that we got into the Senate are great people. A lot of people that left the Senate or passed away were not helping the actual administration effectively do its job. And if anything, you could make the argument that some individuals in positions of power were trying to hinder this president's administration from being able to effectively to perform its duties. Now, to me, this is like the most important takeaway. Guys, research for yourself. This is just a starting point. The whole everything I do here is just to give you guys a directional start to go with. I'm doing the research every day myself, so I'm right there with you guys. I think we're all in the same boat, and we have to just continue to do this, continue to push it into the front of the conversation, and to put a light on what's going on here. So, with that being said, we're going to take a minute and do my favorite thing, one of my favorite pastimes, which is reading through President Trump's Twitter account. Now, first, I want to give you guys and share with you this special message from the president because I think it's very important. It talks about border security, which is exactly what we're talking about here. And it is not, there's no coincidence that President Trump's tweeting about this yesterday now or a couple days ago, depending on where you are. And now it is becoming something that we all are seeing on the cue boards. So listen, and we'll talk about a few other tweets from President Trump. So you guys go ahead and watch this.
Our great country must have border security. We don't want people coming in that aren't supposed to be here. We want people to come in through a legal process. It's very dangerous out there. Drugs are pouring in, human trafficking, so many different problems, including gangs like MS-13. We don't want them in the United States. We don't want them in our country. The only thing that's going to stop that is great border security with a wall or a slat fence or whatever you want to call it. But we need a great barrier. And if we don't have it, it's never going to work. Last night, the House of Representatives passed this very important bill, 217 to 185. Some people were surprised by the number. I wasn't, because everybody wants to see our border protected. Now it's up to the Senate, and it's really up to the Democrats, because we need their votes. There's no way it can pass without their votes. We're going to have a shutdown. There's nothing we can do about that, because we need the Democrats to give us their votes. Call it a Democrat shutdown, call it whatever you want, but we need their help to get this approved. So Democrats, we have a wonderful list of things that we need to keep our country safe. Let's get out, let's work together, let's be bipartisan, and let's get it done. The shutdown hopefully will not last long. Thank you very much.
Okay, so every time President Trump does something like this, I have the utmost respect for him, because what he's doing is he's reaching out across the aisle and he's saying, look, I can't do this alone. We can't do this alone. The Republicans can't do everything in this country and that it needs alone. There has to be some bipartisanship. There has to be some reaching across the aisle. And this issue of all issues, where you have Chuck Schumer, President Obama, Bill Clinton, all in agreement previously that we needed a border, we needed security, we needed heightened security, we needed better vetting, we needed better adherence to the laws, we need better security. These are all things you guys just saw in all those videos. And that's what President Trump is saying. Like, how can it be that our president, who's in my opinion, a very moderate president, he's not too partisan one way or the other. I think he takes an issue by issue stance, and I like that. Obviously, there is some partisanship when it comes to elections and the fact that we need the Republican majority to get things done and all of that. But at the same time, he's the most moderate president I think we've had in a very long time. At least he's open about the reality of the situation. What's behind that kabuki, that political theater that we're watching? He shows us. It's like that meeting that he took with Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi. And he looks at Nancy Pelosi and he says, Nancy, don't you understand? Transparency is good for the American people. And she looked at him looked like she felt betrayed. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, why is this woman, who is about to be one of the most powerful people in our country, the Speaker of the House, who I'm pretty sure is like third in line to the president, why is she about to become, or why is she so afraid of transparency, right? That is terrifying to me as a citizen. It should be terrifying to you if you helped elect her. And I mean, to me, it's the same thing with Chuck Schumer. And Chuck Schumer is a little better at deflection. But at the same time, guys, that message from the president embodies everything that I think we all need to understand is really important. And we do need bipartisanship. And now we've entered it. The shutdown started. So we'll see. Congress didn't pass the legislation put forth by the president for funding the border wall, I think to the tune of about $5 billion. And now we've gone to a shutdown until the 27th. Okay, so the next one is a great one from the president. I just want to read a few of these and react to them because they're so perfect. And if you guys aren't, and let me just say this first, a shameless plug for the president of the United States. If you're not following President Trump on Twitter at @RealDonaldTrump, you need to do that. It's really good, and there is a lot of information here, and it all kind of co-aligns a lot with what we do over on the Q boards. So come here and check out President Trump's Twitter, and follow him here if you're not already. It says, I'm in the White House working hard. News reports concerning the shutdown in Syria are mostly fake. We are negotiating with the Democrats on desperately needed border security, gangs, drugs, human trafficking, and more, but it could be a long stay. On Syria, we were originally, and I'm going to read the rest of this, going to be there for, excuse me, my computer is acting slow now. Thanks. Appreciate that. Here we go. Going to be there for 3 months, and that was 7 years ago. We never left. When I became president, ISIS was going wild. Now ISIS is largely defeated, and other local countries, including Turkey, should be able to easily take care of whatever remains. We're coming home. When did the left and the liberal media all of a sudden become the war hawks who want to stay in these endless wars? I don't get. It's baffling in my mind to think of how it's the Trump effect. It's the effect that occurs when no matter what President Trump says or does, he's wrong, according to certain people in the media and certain people in politics and certain people around the country, right? It is this idea that President Trump, could literally be, giving puppies to orphans, and the headline would read something like, President Trump delivers puppies to orphans, and but the orphans wanted kittens. It's like, what? Like, that's the kind of reporting I see all the time, and that to me is what's crazy. But yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to go through. I want to show you guys that video. and point to the fact that President Trump will not be going to Mar-a-Lago for Christmas. He's going to be staying in the White House because of the shutdown. And that shows that's another thing to look at with President Trump. He's a man of commitment, a man of integrity, who is going to stay in Washington. He's going to be there for this and see it through, because obviously it's going to reopen on the 27th, I think. So this is what we wanted. This is what we voted for. And I'm very proud and thankful to have a president like President Trump. And I just wanted to share that. So this is really another one. I'm going to get this one in real quick. It's, if anybody but your favorite president, Donald J. Trump, announced that after decimating ISIS in Syria, we were going to bring our troops back home happy and healthy, that person would be the most popular hero in America. With me, hit hard instead by the fake news media. Crazy. This is in a nutshell everything that we've been talking about here, and it's everything that Q has pointed us to. And it's like, I don't know, when are they going to get it that we the people are standing up with our president? And I think that it's an important thing to do. So that is pretty much almost it. If you guys want to stick around for 1 second, we got a few more things we're going to talk about really quick. First of all, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Make sure you hit the bell for notifications. Watch these videos and share them in the comments. And I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video, like I usually do, unfortunately, that if you guys don't know what QAnon is, and you've actually stuck around for all 20 minutes so far and you're still scratching your head going, what's this guy talking about? I want you to watch this video right here. It's going to fill you on what QAnon, the Great Awakening is, how to get involved, where to find the information, how to do the research, all that kind of stuff. I always encourage everyone to go check that out. So make sure you go look at that video. And also, I want to hear what you guys have to think about everything. So leave your thoughts, theories, and insights down in the comments. I can't wait to read through them and see what you guys have to say about it all. Now, the next thing is there's a couple other ways you can help out the channel. Obviously, if you come over here to Patreon, that's patreon.com, and search JustInformed Talk, you can become a patron. All you do is click this button to become a patron. It's a monthly donation. Like I said, guys, I'm working on content. I'm going to start posting. You guys have a big Christmas Eve gift coming for all my patrons, and it's not going to just be at Christmas. I'm going to try to make an effort to post Patreon posts, as often, as regularly as I can, hopefully at least once a week. I'll get stuff up on Patreon for you guys. It's not going to have anything to do with Q. It's going to be all like about what I'm doing, what my plans are, different, insider content, stuff that's not going to make it on the channel, but it's still good content. I'll definitely put it up here. And we're going to have that opportunity coming up soon. So thank you so much for all your support. You guys have a special Christmas gift on the way. And if you're not interested in the Patreon thing, I totally understand. That's why I have this GoFundMe. It's a GoFundMe page I set up. It's gofundme.com/just-informed. When you come here, you click this button to donate now. You can make a one-time donation, and you can make it anonymously. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate everybody who contributes and helps this channel stay alive in the face of YouTube demonetization, which is very real. Links will be in the description. I encourage you to go check it out. Another couple ways to come over here on Twitter. You can find me on Twitter at Justin_formed. And all you do is come here, hit the follow button. That helps out. Also, I encourage you guys to come over and check out JustInformedNews.com, which is Just Informed Talks official website. There's a lot of great links here. If you guys want the links to all the Q stuff, if you want the links to some good places to get started for finding news, and some good feeds for articles, and also the content that I put up, please come here to the website, JustInformedNews.com. It's just a tool for you guys. I just keep it up there. I'm going to keep it running indefinitely for you guys to come and use at your leisure, and I'll keep working on making that better as we go along. But with that being said, it's time to take a second and talk about the most important thing, and that is God's grace and how it is, in fact, truly greater. And for that, we always end with a segment where we talk about God and the importance of God. And I want to share these incredibly inspiring pieces or words from Scripture with you guys. Now, this is actually a verse out of Philippians chapter 4, verses 4 through 7. And I want to share it with you, and you guys will understand when I'm finished with this what the real meaning of this is, hopefully, and we'll talk about it for a second. But it says, "Rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I will say, rejoice. Let your gentleness be known to everyone. The Lord is near. Do not worry about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving let your requests be made known to God. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." Guys, it's that simple. I mean, and it's not easy. when I say simple, you shouldn't confuse simple and easy, because this is not easy. It's one of the hardest things to do, is to let your gentleness be known to everyone and understand the Lord is near you. And in everything, through prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God, which means let your prayers be made known to God. Let your dreams and ambitions, your fears, your anxieties, everything be known to God. Put it to God and ask him for his help. Ask him for his guidance. Ask him for his courage and his wisdom to come into your heart to make you his most humble servant so that you may serve the world and you may be the man or woman that this world needs and deserves. So that's my prayer for you guys. I want the peace of God that surpasses all understanding to guard your hearts and your minds in Jesus Christ. And with that, I'll say thank you for watching. If you guys haven't hit that subscribe button, now's a great time to do it. Come here, click the big red subscribe button. That's going to be it for me. I'm Craig. This has been Just Informed Talk. Godspeed and God bless each and every one of you patriots.